Hello everyone, this is Erlin from the Experience Research Lab. Today I'll show you how to write a research plan for a business which is somewhat different from the academic. To help you better understand, however, I'll start with the general description of a research plan. A research plan is a short document presenting initial thoughts on a research project from start to end. It is more than about objectives and findings that many consider the essence of the research. To write a logical and concise research plan, you need to follow several steps, from writing a clear statement on the topic or focus of your research to specifying a research deliverable. Ideally, a research plan only starts after identifying the topic or focus of the research. It can be a business problem or a business opportunity. As a researcher, research manager, project manager, or someone carrying out the role responsible for the research plan, you need to write a statement on the business problem, if it is a problem, or the business opportunity, if it is an opportunity. Let's say it is a business problem, which is a high employee turnover despite the salary and other benefits offered by the company. Next, you also need to identify the objectives. What are you trying to achieve through this research? Taking the previously mentioned business problem as an example, you may think that the objective must be to decrease the employee turnover by X%. Is it necessarily so? Not always. Often, before setting any number to hit, you need to identify the sources of the problem. What are the sources? Which one is the most critical? And which one is possible to solve with the resources you currently have available? Now, depending on the objectives, you will need to work on the research methodology. If, for example, you aim to explore and identify the source of the problem, you'll need to conduct exploratory qualitative research first. It can be in-depth interviews or focus groups. However, considering the sensitivity of the issues, the first option may be more suitable. As you identify the source of the problem and want to measure the severity level, such as which one drives the highest turnover, you can jump to quantitative research like surveys. So who are the research participants? The answer to this question depends on your research objective and methodology. If the research objective is to explore and identify the source of the problem, which is the high employee turnover, you need to interview the employees and their managers. Theoretically, exploratory qualitative research does not require a representative sample size. In practice, however, it is advisable to capture the voice of stakeholders on both sides. Since there are more employees than their managers, you will need to interview more of them. How are you going to recruit them? For the previously given example, where the research participants are internal stakeholders, you can randomly select and reach them via email or phone, or even in person. For another research involving external stakeholders such as potential customers in the target market, you may need help from a third party specialized in recruiting research participants and providing research panels. Please be mindful that when you ask for help from a third party, you should consider the extra budget, time, and other resources required. As previously mentioned, you are writing the research plan for business purposes. It means you need support from the stakeholders who have the power in the decision-making process. These stakeholders are generally high flyers with very tight schedules. Therefore, to get the support, you need a research brief. Technically, a research brief is a summarized version of your research plan, but it is less technical. It briefly introduces the research and highlights the objective and the importance of achieving it. Most importantly, it specifically mentions the support you need to get it done. How much does the research cost you? How long does it take? How many people do you need to support you throughout the project from end to end? And who are they? All this information must be presentable on one page or slide or sheet. A detailed cost structure is nice to have. Meanwhile, a well-established research timeline is essential because it provides a better picture of the phases, tasks, and persons in charge of the research projects. Similar to the research brief, the research timeline should be no longer than one page. Last but not least, what you need to define in your research plan is the deliverable. What is the output that you expect to deliver having completed the research? How are you going to deliver the output of your research? Will it be a persona, customer journey map, mental model diagram, infographics, wireframe, storyboard, or something else? When you share all these initial thoughts with your stakeholders, including decision makers who may have different views, it may go through several iterations until everyone arrives at the same page. The amount of the budget available may not be as much as you expected. The time allowed for the research project is even shorter than ever. The people you need are busy doing something else. They cannot support you 100%. Considering this, you need an open mindset and flexibility to adjust. Be willing to work around the gap without losing track of the objective you're trying to achieve. If you believe there is something you cannot compromise at all, be clear about it. Of course, you need a convincing argument to justify why you have to stick to your plan. In the upcoming video, I'll show you how to establish a research timeline in Microsoft Excel and Google Sheet, but for now, I'll leave you here. Thank you for being with me. For more information about research, qualitative or quantitative, please subscribe, visit our website, listen to our podcast, and follow our social media on LinkedIn and Twitter. See you in the other videos. Cheers!